Well, hey guys, what's going on? It's Stef here. I hope you've been well. I know I have, and it's time for another metal detecting, treasure hunting adventure. In this week's episode, I'm at a really odd site that has activity dating back to the 1700s all the way up through about 1920. And what began as a slow day turned into one that I will never forget. Little did I know I had dug a true mystery from the ground that hopefully we've somewhat solved by the end of this video. And on that note, this video is going to be just a little bit different from my other ones in that we are going to spend a significant amount of time on this particular artifact because it deserves a very close look and a nice good old-fashioned deep dive. So if sinking your teeth into 200 years of history is your thing, then this video is for you. Now, without giving anything else away, let's hop in. All right, well, normally I don't putz around in the path, but I had a really shallow signal. I know I can clean this up very easily. It was a 51-52 on the Manticore. I just thought it was going to be junk because I'm right in a walking trail. But we have a musket ball. It's been fired, maybe chewed by something. Not in good condition. I mean, it's just been trodden, is that even a word? For years and years and years and years. So, but hey, pretty cool to find it an inch in the ground in a spot that I don't normally beep. We'll take it. Whew, this was a struggle. The signal was around 60-ish, pretty darn deep. And, well, we have a relic here. I don't know if it was worth 20 minutes of my time, but I almost thought it was a plate at first. Oh my gosh. But it is actually a curry comb. So that's for brushing horses. And sometimes these will have a patent date on there. I'm not going to be able to make it out. I don't think it's been smooshed over the years, but hey, cool find nonetheless. I'm glad I stuck with it. Sort of. All right, hopefully on to bigger, better, more exciting things. Or not necessarily bigger. It's a pretty big piece of brass right there. Anyway, all right, moving right along. Hey, let's play some I Spy. I know a bunch of you can see it already. So, no idea if it's whole or not. Hopefully it is. Nope. Rotten luck. I think I'll save that for treasure hunters of the future. Bye-bye. I have a really big, ugly, like 60-something signal right here. It is all over the place. It looks like hot garbage, but I'll be pleasantly surprised if at least it's old garbage that is now a treasure to me. We'll see. All right, well, that ugly trace made a lot of sense. So this is the first thing that came out of the hole. I'm being careful. It's just a piece of glass. Not sure exactly what the bottle would have looked like because there's just not enough of it, or not that I'm willing to dig for anyway. And then over here, I'm guessing that has to be the top to it. Oh, I didn't even notice that before, and I've been fondling with this for a little bit. I just got a new camera, so I'm trying to play with the settings, and I've been putzing around here for a while. Longer than I care to admit, but it's got to be like a salt shaker or something. That's kind of interesting. Big. All right, there's a bee around me. Gotta go. This was a loud signal on the Manticore. It was coming up at like 6 inches, but kept going down, 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 down. And I picked it up for just a second. I'm hoping the rest is in here. This side doesn't look remarkable, but this side is very fancy. I think this is going to be half of a match safe. I'm pretty sure. Can't think of what else it would be. It's obviously plated because we can see the copper or brass coming through on the back. But that is beautiful. I wish it wasn't all mangled. At least I'm confident that I didn't do that. It was already bent up in the ground. But yeah, I'll look for the rest. And hey, if I can't find it, that's all right. But yeah, pretty cool. Wish it was in better shape. But you know what? As I say, diggers can't be choosers. So we'll just have to appreciate that the way it came out of the ground. All right, cool. Like I said, I'll recheck the hole. If there's nothing else in there, you'll see me on the next. Beautiful little signal right here. It looks great on the 2D screen. Let's take a look together. Nice and tight right on the center line. Could be something good. Only one way to find out. Okay, I've definitely got something here. I don't know what it is yet. I saw some roundness right in here. And let's see. Looks like maybe we're going to have a button here. Yep, wow, that's pretty old for actually where I am right now. Yep, good looking back mark there. Somewhere under that crud. You can see the shank is missing. That's just where the post of the shank was. That's generally how these were lost. The shanks were broken off. You find them more often than not with the shank broken. Real question is there something on the front? I don't see anything, but I'll come back if I do. So, hey, always a good find. I'll absolutely take that. Looks like I've got a large, relatively high conductor right here. Kind of looks like junk, but it's coming up non-ferrous, so it's coming out of the ground. Well, I got it, whatever it is. Big, round, and green. Not the kind that I was looking for, but, At first blush, I really don't recognize that. Just a nice big piece of brass, giving me a beautiful signal. Oh well, better luck next time. Maybe it's something cool, and I'm just not knowing what this is, but probably not. We'll see. I might have something cool here. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I was bringing up like a 46-ish on the Manticore. It looked pretty good on the 2D screen, but it kind of looked like a pull tab, and it was an inch in the ground, so didn't film it. And I have something here with patina on it that's a weird shape. So I figured we'd look at it together, try to figure out what it is. Definitely old as dirt. What could this be? You know what? Let me get that brushed off. I'll recheck the hole in the meantime, see if there are any more clues than this. And then I guess we'll try to figure out what it is together. I took some time brushing it off. I rechecked the hole, couldn't find anything. It almost looks like a fish or something just arcing over like that. I really don't know. Again, it seems to be heavy brass. And in terms of the back, there's two little posts here. For some reason, and it's probably just because it's what I want it to be, it kind of reminds me of a flash pan on a gun. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to confirm that with somebody who knows more than I do about firearms or relics in general, I guess. I know I'm usually a point person when it comes to IDing things, but this is pretty random even for me. So if I don't have it ID'd by now, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think it is. And yeah, all right, well, we'll keep on moving and hopefully things keep turning up. Didn't film this signal, and I really wish I had because it's pretty cool. It's coming up in the low to mid 20s. And we have a pewter spoon handle here, it looks like. That's nice. I'll take that all day. I wonder if we have any designs on these. Very rarely do I see designs on pewter spoons, but we do have a bit of one going around the edge here. It's a nice piece. Old break. I'll look for the bowl, but if I don't find it, I won't cry over it. Still a cool piece on its own. It's not often I dig iron on purpose, but every so often when I get into a slow area, which this has been very much, I will dig iron. And this is actually pretty cool. It's almost an entire cast iron bowl of some kind, some cooking vessel. I'm gonna see if I can find the other piece there. That's the most complete cast iron piece I have ever dug. That is super cool. There's like a seam at the bottom. I don't know exactly how old this is, but I don't think it's, Victorian like some of the other stuff I've been finding in this particular area. I think that might be older. There's probably a hole there, which would have been used to have a, handlebar over it, not handlebar, but a handle over it so that you could hang this over a fire and heat up your food. Oh, that's going to be a pain in the butt to bring out. But that's going to make a really cool display piece, especially, if I just kind of put it on a shelf like that. That is very neat. Not sorry I dug that. Not sorry at all. Super cool. Always recheck the hole. I have the entire vessel here. Look at this. This is so cool. See if I can orient this properly. Don't have 3 hands, but that fits perfectly there. And then this fits right here. So I'm wondering if there's any way that I can like glue this back together or something, because that is not something that happens every day. Again, as metal detectorists, we do try to avoid iron. It's not usually something desirable, but that is super cool. I can't believe I have the whole thing. That's awesome. I really do love that piece. For a piece of iron, that is really cool. So this pot did see a restoration that I kind of alluded to in the previous footage, but I am not the one who restored it. I reached out to my good buddy JP Hunts, who does some outstanding restorations, and he did an amazing job with this. But before we get into what this piece looks like now, let's hop on over to JP for a minute so that he can explain what he found when he was restoring this relic for me. Let's take a look.
What a cool find. We're going to go ahead and talk about this item that Stef dug up. I'm JP with JP Hunts Restorations, and I want to go ahead and first talk about this item because it's very unique, something that I've never seen before. I've worked on cast iron pots before in the past, and cast iron, and several other items during the colonial period and Civil War period. That's mainly what I do, is restore items from colonial and Civil War period. This item that Stef dug up, cast iron pot, was a small one, but it was in several different pieces, and she sent it to me wanting to have it restored, put back together, and that was my goal. And as I got into repairing this pot, I initially wanted to clean it and get the dirt and corrosion out from the inside of it. And what I mean by just get it out, I was just rinsing the dirt out of it. And when I was rinsing the dirt out of the bottom of it before I was going to do electrolysis on this cast iron, I noticed it was lined with some type of silver. Okay, it had like a shininess. Now I can't say for 100% certainty that it was definitely silver. I can't. And the reason why is because I didn't do a chemical test on it to confirm that it was silver. I regret that. I wish I did a chemical test on it, but I didn't. And I wish I had taken several photos of it, but I didn't. But I did contact Stef right away and let her know what I was seeing, which appeared to be, in my opinion, possibly silver in the bottom of this cast iron pot. Let me explain why. This right here is a 1789 Spanish real that I dug up. Okay, I didn't do much to this to clean it. Okay, I ran this underwater, took a light toothbrush to it just to clean it off, but look how it has that shiny appearance. In the bottom of that pot, this is the shiny appearance that I'm talking about, that was sort of like down on the bottom, and it wasn't a lot, it was just a little bit like caked into the cast iron. Okay, now I'm going to explain to you why I don't think it was other types of metal such as lead. This is what lead looks like when it's been in the ground. Okay, it gets like a white chalky appearance to it. It's been in the ground for several hundred years. This was camp lead or melted lead from a Civil War campsite. So that's what lead looks like when it's been in the ground for a long period of time. So what was in the bottom of this pot did not have this chalky material to it. So I can eliminate lead right off the start from it. It was not lead. Now the unfortunate circumstance is I was hoping that that silverish color would have stayed on the metal when I did electrolysis. When I did electrolysis, that metal or that silver color to it came off the cast iron pot when I did the electrolysis. And the electrolysis is going to remove all the rust, and it's going to take it down to the base metal and clean it up really well. And that's exactly what it did, and it cleaned everything off of it. And unfortunately, we lost what was possibly silver on the bottom of this pot. It's no longer there, but I just wanted to talk about it and explain to everyone what I saw, because I thought it was very unique, because I've done restoration work on other cast iron items and cast iron pots, and I have never seen silver in the bottom, or silver color in the bottom of a cast iron pot before that I've worked on. If you guys have relics that you need to have them worked on, colonial or Civil War, reach out to me. I'm JP Hunts. You can find me on Facebook, but you can also find me through email, jphuntsrelics@gmail.com. Okay, guys, happy hunting. God bless and stay safe.
Wow, JP, what a killer restoration yet again. I am so glad that I had this pot restored, because not only is it a beautiful display piece, but it has quite a story to tell as well. And now let's dive a bit deeper into this relic, because I didn't have JP relay everything that I had uncovered about it. I wanted to do that part myself. First, let's talk about the age of this piece. Based on the broken pot legs and the footprints that they've left behind on the bottom of the pot in a U-shaped fashion, this is indicative of 18th century to early 19th century, so it's at least 200 years old. And while we're on that topic, why would somebody bust the legs off of a pot 200 years ago? Well, considering that JP found what appeared to be possibly melted silver in the bottom of this, I think that the legs were removed very purposely so that it could be even closer to its heat source to heat up whatever was inside of that vessel. And let's be honest, I can't find a justifiable reason to do that for food. But for metal? Absolutely. Now, in order to melt silver, if that was indeed what was in the bottom of the pot, it would have to reach a temperature of 1,763 degrees Fahrenheit. That's damn hot. And it doesn't quite line up with just being able to put that over a campfire, which reaches maybe 1,100 to 1,500 degrees, not quite hot enough to melt silver. But if I take a look at this site, which was largely industrial, near a water source, bricks laying everywhere, and even some red clay in the dirt itself, it is highly likely that an earthenware kiln used to rest on this site. And in this case, probably for making bricks. That being said, earthenware kilns of that era would reach temperatures between 1,600 and 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Perfect temperature for melting silver if you needed to throw that pot in there to do the job while you were, well, I guess heating other things up. I don't know. And in terms of why somebody might melt silver, they could have done it for any reason under the sun. They could have been just stockpiling their silver. They could have been clipping coins, although by that time, like 1830-ish, which is about what the pot dated to, that really wasn't a very common practice around here, at least not in the United States. So perhaps for jewelry, I don't know. It remains a mystery, but that's what's so cool about metal detecting is sometimes you do dig up something that you can find an answer to, and sometimes you don't. And in this case, it is inconclusive, but the evidence is there that this was absolutely used as a melting or smelting vessel versus a cooking vessel. Completely different. And I certainly thought it was interesting enough that it deserved its own very long special mention in this video. So again, huge shout out to JP Hunts, who did a phenomenal job on this for me. If you didn't get a chance to jot down his contact info when I had it up on the screen earlier, take a look at the description below the video, and I've got it there as well. All right, back to the show, where some 100% verifiable silver might be just around the corner. Well, 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 well. Let's hope that's something outstanding, because it might be. I didn't want to call my shot and say silver dime, but boom, ba ba boom. I feel like I can see the back of a Rosie already. Oh, this is a weird size. Hang on a minute. Maybe it's not a weird. Oh, it's a barber. Hang on. Heck yeah. I haven't dug a barber dime and I don't even know how long. Oh, it's been ages. Can we see the date yet? 1900 something, probably? Ah, sight for sore eyes. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right. I got to spray this off camera because my spray bottle is broken. So I have to pour water on it and try not to scratch it any more than it's already been scratched from being in the ground. But that's awesome. Love it already. Well, there we have it. 1906 Barber dime. In terms of a mint, there is no mint mark, so this is made in Philadelphia, like most of the coins in the United States. But I am thrilled. For some reason, I really like the Barber design. I know it's not popular because she kind of looks like a man. That's Lady Liberty. In fact, I think the first year or so that I was into the hobby, I thought it was a man. I thought it was supposed to be like some Roman-esque looking bust. But I like these coins quite a bit. And again, what a sight for sore eyes. Haven't dug a ton of silver this year because I always insist on being out in the forest where it's tougher to find. But hey, awesome, awesome, awesome. I'll recheck the hole. Obviously, if there's anything else in there, you will be the first to know. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me this week. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. And if you have, and you've made it this far, but you haven't already done so, please consider hitting that subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you don't miss uploads from me in the future. Additionally, I wanted to draw your attention to something that is a new YouTube feature that rolled out, I don't know, a few weeks ago, something like that. And it's called the hype button. Now, you can only click on this button if you're on your phone. So if you're watching this on the TV, you really loved the video, and you want to support the channel, what you do is you go on your phone, find this video, and hit the hype button. I will put a screen grab on the screen right now so that you can see exactly where that is underneath the video. And what the hype button does is it gives me what are called hype points, which are weighed by, I guess, the size of the channel and how many hype points you get are based on that. I don't know. It's a bit confusing, but what I do know is in the end, that raises my exposure and it can raise my subscriber count, my view count, all of the things that help me do what I love to do. So for those of you who have been asking for years, what can I do to support the channel? This is a completely free way to do it, and it takes you about a millisecond. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I might mention it from time to time. I won't be obnoxious about it, but if you are a regular viewer, it would mean a great deal to me for you to do that every week. And with that, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Until next time, happy hunting, and we'll see you next week.